wako sawa kuinteract hivyo.
Yeah.
Because you'll find hizi vitu za culture zimeanza siku hizi kuleta shida. Like, get to know about my background. You dig deep into it. Ujue, tukidate, it end up wapi. Isikwe to date and then the mother does not want me because I have a child at home.
Yeah.
Such things. I will say, for a man or a woman, get to know about her background information.
Yeah. From the very get-go,
Yeah.
so that you do not waste time.
Yeah.
And then there's this other conversation that people have been having. Expectations after the date. Because we just saw there was the whole rally of women working for women. And then there was a video that went really viral about a guy, okay, a few guys, there were 2 guys particularly. And one of them was saying, I can't buy you pizza. Na wende hivyo umekula pesa yangu. And you know, to someone else, they'd wonder, just a pizza, you know, it makes no sense. But what are the expectations after a date? Do you think that's a conversation that you should have during the date or even before the date? Winnie, would you have that conversation with someone you're going on a date with?
Yeah, because I feel like nowadays, a lot of men work on expectations as if I give you money, you're supposed to give me this in return. So I will want to ask the man, since you're bringing me money, unaniletea pesa, do you expect something in return from me? Or unataka ni offer nini to the table? Because personally I will say, I will offer only, I love you. You know, I want to know kama utakuwa sawa nayo. So I think, mtu anafaa kuuliza such stuffs. The expectations are, maybe unexpect, one boy will bring more money than me because she works in a certain company like that. So I feel like expectations are there and people should get to know more about them
before they get to that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Ian, would you say it's a man's job to make it clear what they expect? Because for a lady to ask, what are you expecting after? It might, I don't know, some people might take it the wrong way. But do you think it's a man's role to take that lead and say, I want to meet you on Saturday, I want to take you to somewhere, and this is what I'm expecting after the date? Do you think it's a man's job to do that, or should the woman initiate the conversation?
I don't feel like it's actually the responsibility of any of the parties involved. I feel like it's supposed to be two-way. You know, it's a relationship. It's not that I'm not actually the head per se, and she's not also the head per se. It's a companionship. So if there's something that I'm expecting afterwards, maybe we should sit down together, or maybe the conversation should be initiated from both parties. You know, we could talk about this, we could talk about that. Then I guess from what we are talking about, the energy, we can also feel whether the energy is matching. I don't feel like a lot of these things have to be said, really. I feel like most of them will just read from the vibe I'm getting from you and the vibe you're getting from me. So I guess these things, we don't actually have to talk about them. But if worst comes to worst, then I guess maybe it actually depends with the kind of relationship that you're in. Because if the dude really expects something, then they'll initiate the conversation. Because rarely does the woman initiate the conversation.
That's
like afterwards.
True. Yeah. And you know, especially when you're thinking about people they're just getting to know each other. You know, people want to show the best possible characters. Siwezi kuonyesha mimi labda na kuanga mdaku. Ama mimi kufua nguo, I don't like that. So we want to show our best possible traits. How long do you think it takes for you to know someone for who they are? Winnie, how long would you say, how long do you usually vet a character before you say this man might have potential to be my man because of this and that? How long does it take for you to get to that point where you accept to be in a relationship with someone?
I know this will sound crazy, but naweza jua mtu tu tukipatana hivi and I'll talk to you and I'm like, huyu ako hivi. Na hiyo aja fake, sasa huo ni yeye. Like a day, I'll know you, but like a day, junajua kusoma watu. Bana kuna mwingine atajua mwingine within days and days. But I'm always like, a day or 2 days we meet constantly, I will know you.
I feel like I need that skill. I really need that skill. Because I always want to see the best in people. Unaweza nionyesha wewe ni mtu mbaya for real. And I'm like, no. Imagine there's some light in you. We just have to find it. It might take some digging, but imagine tuitafute too. So that is truly a skill. But what about someone who doesn't know? Like, let's think about someone who's probably fresh out of high school. Na huu msee ndio wamekutana kwa library. It's taking me back to this from you've just met someone from maybe the A state, you've been seeing them around. Ian, according to you, how long will it take for someone to make a right decision about this is the right person because of this and this reasons?
I don't think that human beings are an open book, because every day I learn something different about you. Nitajua kitu mpya kukuhusu.
Yeah.
And I guess that is what I'm going to use to judge character. But for me, I guess I'll always look first at how well you can hold a conversation. You know, there are some things that I expect at our age. Nitakuwa tunaongelea like maybe finances, money making opportunities. You know, like even just the nitty-gritties of all this stuff. Maybe national news, international news, money markets. Like if you're actually holding a conversation that is of such magnitude, then actually maybe we can actually go somewhere. But then there's this type of way that you will actually talk. Then you're all about the restaurants, you're all about the nails, you're all about these outfits. Hey, so like atwendi tu mahali.
We were talking about nails before. So Ian felt left out of this conversation. No, but it's genuinely true. If someone has substance and they can add value even to the conversation before you get to adding value to you as a person, then it shows that this is someone who's mature, someone you can actually go somewhere with.
Yeah.
Let me ask a thing that I think most people wonder, or they've not really understood why dates exist. So, Winnie, according to you, why do you think it's important for you to go on dates with someone you're getting to know, or someone you want to get into a relationship with, or even someone you're actively dating? Why do you think it's important for you to go on dates?
Wow. To create a bond, or to get to know about this person. From the earlier question that you had asked, come to think of it, you think you can't know someone within one day. Neza kuja na character ingine leo, and then tomorrow you portray another character. And I'm like, okay, wait. So with this dates thing, I think mi kwangu ni kwenda ku create bond, and if the bond is there, then I'll continue the relationship. If the bond is not there, then we call it quits. Yeah, maybe this is just friendship. So I think dates are important because you'll get to know about the other person more. Yeah.
And then, as you've said, genuinely, I think people, depending on the context, I may have had a bad day. Labda nimenyeshewa, nimekuja tu na mood swings. Labda I've had coffee and I'm just excited. So it's really hard to read someone
on the first day.
Yeah, on the first day. So do you think it's also important? Do you think seeing them in different contexts, Ian, do you think that plays a role as to why you have to go on dates? Like seeing them react, maybe menda gaming, labda kwa restaurant venye naongelesha hata wochi kwa mall. Do you think that adds value as to why dates are important?
Yeah, because sometimes you can be with someone, no shange kwani wakasirikangi. Like, of course, all of us, we are human beings. Sometimes we are angry, sometimes we are mad at each other, we are mad at people, we are mad at ourselves. And I feel like I don't really always focus on seeing the good side of you. I always want to see the bad side of you. I always want to see whether I can cope with that side of you. Like whether that side of you, do I still find you attractive after seeing the bad side of you? Because everyone can be good. It's not actually, that is not actually a question. Everyone can be good, and it's not trivial really. But if I get to see like you, like nijue, wa, amejam, even though ukua, like nijue unavunjanga glass ukijam. Unajua maybe perhaps nitaona siku moja utanirushia glass bana. Or maybe nitasema it's okay, I can still cope with her, I can still calm her down. So for me it's always about those bad days. I want to see someone in their bad days rather than in their good days.
Yeah. And I think that's important because some people say, I want to see you when you're sad, when you're hurt, when you're broke. Ndo nijue, who are you really? Because unfortunately, I think the bad experiences bring out the true nature of human beings as opposed to the good. Because when you're happy, when you have money, life is good, hauna pressure. Like, why are you even mad? So, now based on that, we've gone on dates, we've gotten to know someone. Ametuuliza to date. tukaingia box. Red flags gani consciously umeona hivi Winnie na ukasema ni sawa, I'm going in? Because Ian has given us a good example. Someone can have anger issues, but maybe your temperament or your character aligns with that. Na kuna mtu mwingine ataona aseme me by this penangi drama, just let it go. But what red flags have you in the past gotten into relationships knowing that this is a red flag, but I'm willing to compromise? What are some of the things that you'd say? Maybe your past self alikuwa na experience uko like, hapana, siku hizi no, we don't do that. I like the reaction.
I think hiyo ya kuangusha glass na tuko kwa restaurant akakasirika tu akarusha glass. And
Yeah.
like, okay, that's a red flag. But kwangu nimeona ni maroon. Really? Unajaribu kwa
favorite color.
I think that. Yeah, I will say that.
Yeah.
That is one of the red flags ulishaona kwa relationship, and I was like, let me
You
pause it.
ignore it.
Yeah.
And easy red flag. Ian, do you think they're that bad? Because we keep talking about red flags.
Yeah.
Na for real enye kunonye, red is their favorite color. Like tusidanganyane. Kunonye, you know vibes. Because we've seen public relationships where people are toxic.
Yeah.
And they still go back. They will tattoo the face of that man on their face. And you wonder, haushtuki na mimi nimeshtuka on your behalf. So are red flags really that bad?
Yeah, because they never get any greener.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just don't get any greener because, May
I feel like you guys have stories to tell me, but hizi wezenyu ndo zina hold back. Imagine fungua roho. This is a safe space. What are red flags you perhaps ignored in the past and you realize right now you cannot even compromise on?
For me, it's weird.
What's weird? The red flag.
It's crazy though.
Tuambie, viewers ndio watatuambia kama ni crazy. Kama ni crazy, by the way, tuende kwa comments tumwambie Ian, umepitia. Tuambie, what was that red flag that paka sai imekutraumatize? Because clearly
I guess dating someone who had something with my friend and it wasn't that serious.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess that's the red flag because for me I can't have something with someone who had something with my friend. I just can't. Because most of the time it doesn't end well.
Yeah. And you see, I feel like, as you've said, both of you, because all of us can confess, and I feel like we should all go on social media right now and reflect on some of the things that we've probably ignored in the past that ruined our relationships and even maybe our perception, and we could have avoided that. Because as you've said, that was something you could have avoided, and we need to, normally when you see someone amepasua glass, you're like, it's giving potential GBV,
Yeah.
but because we are so immersed in that moment, we fail to recognize everything else. So now let's get to what are some of the situations that umefeel ni kama, but I feel like we should hold this for the second bit of the conversation. Situations that you feel like you went through, ukasema apana, I'm walking away. I don't care if I love you. I don't care if you're the best, you have money, you have all these things. I am walking away from the situation. So we're live on YouTube, and I hope you're going on the comments right now and letting us know, as you follow this show, what are some red flags that you ignored in your relationships in the past that came back, uka realize, by the way, red aibambi. Let us know that. And then we've also asked, when is the right time for you to leave a relationship? When do you know this situation, it's no longer serving me, it's no longer adding value? When do you know when to leave? Go on our social media platforms, which is at Y254 on Facebook, Twitter, and X. So I think we can take a short break and then we can come back, because I want to find out what situations led you to that moment where you said, imagine apana, it's not a must. And how do you even get there? Because as we started by saying, we have different levels of maturity in relationships. Kuna relationship yenye maybe utaanza ukiwa younger and you want to hold on because you don't know any better, you don't know anything else aside from that. And then you get older, you realize these are my boundaries, these are things that I stand for, I do not want to entertain these characters. And it's easy for you to say, no, this is no longer serving me. So I want us to get into that afterwards. So stay tuned to Y254. You're watching The Power Talk Show, and my name is Cheryl Blessing.
Y254. Imagine.
Ili kupata uchungu mtamu kama skiza tune yako, bonyeza *812 504 hash.
Je, wajua kuwa kuna uchungu mtamu? Bwana mmoja kaona kipepeo kichanga kikijikakamua kutoka nje ya shimo la ukuni. Akakitazama kwa huruma mno, akahisi uchungu kwa niaba yacho. Mwisho akaamua kukisaidia,
Kupata uchungu mtamu kama skiza tune, bonyeza *812 504 hash. *812 504 hash.
What's up, beautiful people? It's your host with the most, Muna Joy.
And your DJ Faro the Finisher. Catch us every Friday from 6 p.m. mpaka saa 2 usiku on Tano Kali Show.
Right here on Kenya's #1 channel, Y254.
Oh yeah, baby Jamboree. I like the way we gone, buddy.
We're going to be giving you hot topics that are happening on social media platforms. We will also be interviewing hella talented artists on the show as well.
Kama kawaida, I'll be here to give you the best mixes. Alafu sahau pia kuna top 5 hits of the week.
All right, see you then.
This is Rock Gospel.
Y254. Imagine.
Sorry. Thank you so much for sticking to Y254 TV. My name is Cheryl Blessing and you are watching The Power Talk Show. Now, before we went on our very short break, we were having a conversation and trying to figure out when is the right time to leave your relationship. If the relationship is no longer serving your needs, if it's toxic, if you have outgrown the relationship, when do you think it's the right time to leave it? So I was just having a conversation with Winnie and Ian, and we were sharing about the foundation of the relationship, the things that you need to look out for, the conversations you need to have. And we have established from the very first date, you need to make your intentions clear. So before Kwanzaa, let me tell you, when we were on break, we've got some very interesting comment. Ian has told us, haezi baiya dem simu. And I'm wondering, do you think, because you know, for some women, that might be a reason for them to leave a relationship. So Winnie, do you think a man who isn't providing in the traditional sense would be a reason enough for you to say, wacha ikae?
Hey, nenda. Because I'm like, kazi yako ni nini? Men were created to provide. I'm supposed to stay in the house, cook for you, and cook for the children. You are supposed to go and provide.
Yeah.
So if I say I want a phone, as long as I'm doing what a woman is supposed to do, you're supposed to provide.
Yeah.
Me, I'll leave a relationship if a man is not providing. You have to bring something to the table.
Temu, can you define that providing first? What is provision according to you?
To me,
Yeah.
If I need to make my hair, he's supposed to provide. The rent, he's supposed to provide. But bado, I will like now understand when you unasema, because in this nini generation yetuko, it's 2-2, right?
Yeah.
So you'll still provide, but I'll bring something like 20% to the table. But he'll still provide for the food. Atanunua chakula, alipe rent, watoto waende shule, unless he tells me, we provide food. But a man is supposed to provide.
Yeah.
Hata iko kwa Biblia, a man is supposed to provide. So, if he's not providing, I'm walking out. I cannot be the man in the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And now Ian Tebu let us know, because men, especially in this generation, because women are so empowered, women are making as much money as men, maybe even sometimes more than men. So men feel like, why should I perform my traditional role? And we are all equal financially. So why do you think you wouldn't buy, why wouldn't you buy a woman a phone? Tuseme ni demuna date, serious relationship, enye mkona hizi vitu zote, you've intellect, you've considered the mental stability, you've considered finances, you have a future that you see together. Why wouldn't you buy that girl a phone?
I guess, you know, it's two-way traffic. Will she buy me a phone? If it were my birthday, would she buy me a phone?
What if she would?
If she would, I would, because it's two-way traffic. But you just can't expect, you can't sit there and expect me to get you a phone just for the sake of getting you a phone. And you come and you get me like those messages, a king was born today.
But how can you know it's two-way if you haven't even tried one way? Because sometimes you have to show someone for them to reciprocate, or you have to be in the way we say sometimes you attract the energy that you're in. If I'm in an energy where I'm in my feminine energy, I'll attract someone who's in a masculine energy. If I'm probably in a state where I'm ready to settle, I'll probably attract someone with the same mindset. So if you come in with the mindset of I can't buy you a phone because tuko equal, and then they do the same, then what's the point of the relationship? Or let's just talk about, we see people gifting each other even cars, land, things like that, things of assets. Let's talk about assets as opposed to kuna josimu ni liability hata because ina lose value. Let's talk about assets. Would you buy your wife in future land?
Wow, tegemea.
Yo,
no, hear me out.
Zoom in on Winnie.
Hear me out. You know, just as you've said, it's all about the reciprocation of energy. It all starts with, if I get you a pen, you get me a book. You get me? If I get you an eraser, you get me a pencil. But if I get you a pen and you never get me a book, that there's no energy that's being reciprocated there, right? So I guess that's just the end of it. Yeah.
But do you think we're killing ourselves with expectations?
We are.
Yeah. Because even, Winnie, let's even direct this at you. Do you think us as ladies, I think it's kind of crazy if we're being realistic. I talk to so many ladies these days and they prefer going back to being housewives. So many ladies who are in corporate spaces working hard, they would prefer to go back to being housewives and taking care of the home and the kids and all that. But women fought for us to get here. Why do you think we're regressing back to that station where we're like, by the kukwa housewife, see that bad? As long as you're providing you in your masculine energy, I'm willing to play my feminine role. Why do you think women are going back to that?
Juni hapo ilianzia. I think women are just supposed to be submissive. No, wake took home, will provide for their husbands. I don't have anything else to say, but I'll say men should provide and provide. But at the same time, venye umemuuliza kuhusu land, and he was like, nitambaia land kama yeye atakuwa amenibaia something in return. I will say, for a man to get like a woman an asset or something like that, nafaa kuwa kuna venye I'll do for a man to do that. Si lazima ikue kuhusu nini ati nimekubaia gari ndo unanibaia land. It's all about maybe nimempatia respect, love, akifika home anakula vizuri, I think this man will buy me a land.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing what is like a woman is supposed to do, right? I'm out and buy a land.
Cooking.
See, I'm cooking for you.
Cooking for life.
Hey, wewe ni narcissist wewe.
Yeah, this man, no.
Let
her to Range Rover ndio uone shamba.
No, it's not even necessarily about the Range Rover part of it. I guess maybe if you're getting me something like, how can I, if you're on IG most of the time, and I've always constantly be telling you, oh, I really want to get this super bike. I really want to get this super bike. Every now and then. Maybe you have the resources, you can get it, and I also have it, but I'm telling you, no, but I'll get it some other time. And maybe you get it for me, right? I feel like that is a grand gesture that I'll also have to reciprocate, because that actually shows how much I matter to you, because this is something you've had me say about a lot. So if I hear you say that, hey, you know, I really want that new Mazda, I really want it, I'll get it, because it's also because now I'll want to show you how much you mean to me. But you just can't expect. Why are you cooking and you expect land?
But how will you eat?
I can get takeout. Why are you cooking and you'll expect land?
Akiwa.
Like it's not, it's
go
not,
on the comments
it's
right
not
now. I want you to go in the comments right now and let me know, would you buy your significant other assets or even a gift if they haven't shown you that they're going to do the same? Will you do that out of your own genuine love for them? Ama you expect them to do something? Ndio sasa wewe useme, because you've bought this pencil, now you can have a pen. Let me know on the comments at Y254 across all social media platforms. And now, on that note, because Winnie has already told us, you will leave a man for not being a provider.
Yeah.
What other reasons will make you leave a relationship? Or what reasons have made you leave a relationship in the past? That right now you're like, I'm standing on business. We're not going back.
If the energy is unmatched, unaweza yani umeka to everything on this man, and you're
Thank
like,
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, exactly. Now she's getting
yeah,
the point that
yo.
I'm telling her about gifting. If the energy is unmatched,
Maybe we can ongelea feelings.
wewe unaongelelea mambo ya property wewe.
But here we have some double standards. If you're being
Thank
realistic, truly there's some double standards,
Yeah.
especially with the expectations of men and women.
Yeah.
So wacha tumalize tu kwanza your point, then we can bring it back.
Okay, I'm going to feelings.
See your assets. Yeah.
Unaweza pata kai unapenda mtu and is ayuko uko completely. Yani you just love this person. Every time you're telling this person, I really love you, and you go, oh, ni sawa, tongea baadaye.
Yo.
I will leave that relationship.
I can imagine go. Me, I'm supporting. Imagine I'm supporting you.
Because me, I'm expecting,
Yeah.
if I tell you I love you, you're supposed to tell me I love you too. Me,
Yeah.
sitaki kujali if you are in a meeting or something like that. I want you to tell me I love you too, babe.
Yeah. So it has to be reciprocated energy. Yeah. And I feel like I've witnessed that. Some people stay too long in a relationship hoping that, you know, love grows.
Yeah.
Mtu atanipenda, ataona kenye nafanya.
Yeah.
So that is one reason why unafaa uende.
Yeah.
Juu kama akupendi, imagine akupendi, kubali tu.
Yeah.
And I think so many young people struggle with that because you may love someone and it may be unreciprocated,
Yeah.
especially for men.
Yeah.
Men loving women, and you do the most. And sometimes once a woman or a person who you really love notices that you uko tu hapo, they might take advantage of you. So that's one reason that I genuinely support.
Yeah.
You have to walk out. Ian, what about you? What's one reason that paka saizi you can't even look at someone twice if they do these things?
For me, I guess it's a basket. It's a whole lot of stuff. But for me, I feel like energy actually tells a lot. You don't actually have to tell me something. Bro. So if I feel like you actually don't want to be here, I'll know. Yeah. Something, I guess Winnie said that she can tell someone. She can tell the habits of someone by the first time she's talking to them or actually seeing them. Yeah. But for me, I feel like the energy that you reciprocate is exactly what I'll know.
Which is very important. And I think everyone, as we get older, you have your own list
Yeah.
of maybe the person that's ideal for you and things that you cannot compromise on. And there's been this phrase, especially this year, people are standing on business. So I think that's very important, and then we can dive deeper into that. Let me first read some of the comments that you've shared. And this is on Facebook. We have Eliki Rono who says, Wako Sachei Tarbo Nairobi Ndogo representing. Thank you so much for watching us. Franklin Ward Judy says, Kwangu, respect and appreciation of the effort put in the relationship to work. Once the two are missing, that's an instant turn off. Watching live, salimia the guests. Mesalimika. Thank you, Franklin, for that. And that's very important. Respect and appreciation is very important, particularly to men.
Yeah.
Do we have any more comments, Timo? We have Dante KE who says, tuned in Nikumoto in watching live from Mwea Runda. Thank you so much for watching us. Isaac Nalianya says, hi, I'm following you from Butere. I think the right time to quit a relationship is 1, when there is a breach of trust. 2, when one tries to track one another. Okay, when one tries to track the other. Okay, the third one is when there is physical distance and when there is hostility. Thank you so much for that. That's very insightful. We have John Tex Nyangaka, Mama's son, who says, immediately after his character changes to overcome dust. Hiyo ni nini? Tebu tutatuelezea hapo. Ivy Wamboi says, just trust your instincts, as in the moment you feel something is off, then you should leave. I agree with that. Collins Kolo Tribeless says, instead of giving people tips to strengthen relationships, you are asking when is the right time to quit. Hampendi vitu mzuri. Aki imagine Kolo, just go on our YouTube and just scroll kidogo tu kwa Power Talk. You'll find a few videos of us talking about relationships, hata kufika kwa ndoa. We have Wolan Shatter who says, a good dancer knows when to exit the stage. Patrick Iguza and Bensu taught with this. That's really insightful. Thank you. Hussein Barak Wanjia says, immediately you feel disrespected. True. Moffat Billion says, ukiona tu umekuwa option wejitoe. Lakini haimanishi ati sasa penye unaenda hautalia. Labda huko ndo utavunjwa vibaya. Happiness is not guaranteed, by the way. Here, Moffat, hapo umetuserve truths. But that is so true. I like that. And just in case, for someone who's wondering if we have conversation on relationships, we do that, and marriages, just go on our YouTube. And I like the insight that you've given, because I've noticed respect is very, very important. Yeah. And I like that phrase by Wolan Shatter, a good dancer knows when to exit the stage. Also, the comment on trust your instinct. Because so many of us feel it's no longer serving my needs, it's no longer right, but we just want to hold on for one reason or the other. Now, at what point in this day and time, Winnie, penye umefika kwa maisha, what are some of the things that ukiona ziko missing in your relationship, you decide to just walk away and start afresh?
Someone who tries to change me who I am. You know, I cannot even tolerate you. Maybe personally I'm a dancer, and then mtu anakuja, hey, me that dancing, I'm not okay with it. Hey, the first day, the second day, I won't tolerate that. It's either we are together or not. I will not change myself to satisfy your needs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will quit and run away from you.
Yeah. And I think that's a very important thing to highlight, because so many people get into relationships and they want to change the other person.
Yeah.
And that might mean you don't like them how they are.
Yeah.
There's something that's missing that you're looking for, that you want to add or take away.
Yeah.
So what's the point of being with that person? So that's a very important thing to note.
Yeah.
And we've noticed, Ian, most people are saying affection and respect. Senye haziko unajitoa, by the way. Do you think it's very important for you to have respect? Kama tuseme love hata imeisha, lakini respect bado iko hapo, would you leave your relationship?
I would. I don't feel like it's fair for me to waste your time and for you to waste my time. Yeah, I would, because if I feel like your affection towards me is maybe dwindling at some point, then I feel like that's my cue to leave. Just like one of the commenters said, a good dancer knows when it's time to leave the stage.
Exit.
So I'll actually exit just for my well-being and for your well-being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about, I think I've had this with so many people, they keep saying, particularly in marriages, because I think the whole point of relationships is to end up in marriage, something long term. I've had so many people saying, mapenzi huisha. It's such a common phrase, particularly with people who've been married for years and years, but they say friendship, that's what remains. And maybe sasa respect, affection, someone being attentive. So we need, ukiambiwa hivyo, with the person that you're with right now, when you think about 10 years from now, when the love fades, is that reason enough, in your opinion, to leave a relationship?
No. I think, where should I live? We've been married like for 20 years. If the respect is there, I will stay. If the loyalty is there, I will stay. Yeah. For me, I think love will not really make me end that relationship.
It doesn't make that much of a difference.
So forget all the things you've shared for 20 years just because I don't know.
Na kama ni 1 year, 20 years is probably long, because you know, with the marriage you've invested, you have a family, you have assets together, you have a life together.
Okay,
what if it's a relationship that this is just a year into the relationship, but you're probably engaged to the person and you're looking forward to getting married?
Okay, I will leave. That is 1 year. I have to invest a lot of time,
Yeah.
things there. Because one thing, if a man does not love you, he will not change. Children that he will never change. That is something that women should know. Men will never change. It's not like women tunakuwa intense with small things and you're like, if I love that man.
Yeah.
But for me, if that man tells me, I'm really not fit, the love is, najua hata kuambia directly, you'll see by the actions.
You will see.
Yeah. So I will leave if the love is not there.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
men are men.
And you know, by the way, based on that, I've also heard that women can grow to love, but a man needs to love.
Yeah, exactly.
From the very get-go.
Yeah.
Now I've also seen a comment on trust, and we've been having a conversation, particularly last week. We were talking about how we can rebuild trust after it's been broken by someone, and you've forgiven them, you've let go, by the way. Ian, do you think if trust is broken in your relationship, it's reason enough for you to say, I'm no longer doing this?
Yeah.
And why is that?
I feel like the whole basis of a relationship, a solid foundation for a relationship, is trust. If we can't trust each other, we can't be companions.
Yeah,
and
true.
we can't be companions, I don't think we are actually doing any good to each other.
Yeah. Okay. And I think also, unajua trust, by the way, ni kila kitu.
Yeah.
If I can trust you, then I can even share, I can be myself, I can let loose. But if there's no trust, as you've said, then what are we building our foundation on? Like, what's the relationship based on?
Yeah.
And sasa kuna hizi tuseme juu kuna breakups crazy squeezy. Mtu anaweza amka kwambia, by the way, mimi si feel history. Naenda, mimi nimechoka. Ian, dem akikwambia hivyo unadu.
Sueto unasema ni sawa.
Unasema tu ni sawa na maisha inasonga.
So
Wini wa utadu. Juu unaka utaenda kwa ofisi. Uko like, what do you mean?
Unaniacha aje? Kwani umesahau what we've gone through?
Yeah.
But I feel ni ukweli, you just can't change a man.
Yeah.
Mwanaume akisema no, it's a no for him.
It's a no.
It's not like us tunapanga, okay, sawa, yes, as long as you do this and this,
We can make it work.
Yeah.
And do you think you should be given reasons when someone is breaking up with you?
Yeah, don't singe relationship ingine na zile makosa.
Yeah.
Lazima unichanue, uniambie, but they never, uko unanipea time, ulikuwa so friendly with other men.
Yeah.
Na kama, yeah, you should tell me, because I want to perfect the next
I feel like
relationship.
we need to nafaa tumuite hapa tuambie story. Udem anatufichia ma story nyingi. Amejicontrol. You've seen her reel that story in very fast. No, we just want you to share. Imagine hatuna ubaya.
It's a safe place.
It's a safe space. Sindio, all of us, see, it's a safe space here on Power Talk. It's family. That's true, because you know, it's important for someone to even tell you why they're letting go.
Yeah.
Then you can understand. Yeah, if I do better, if I change one or two things, then maybe I can in my future relationship I can do better.
Yeah, sure.
But people genuinely are so afraid of your conversation a breakup. I think kuna conversation kama hiyo and then the initial conversation of when you're getting into the relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
These are things that people generally avoid.
Yeah.
Ian, how do you think someone should break up? On phone, am I in person?
For always tell me in person, man. Say, if you're breaking up with me on phone, that's like insulting my intelligence.
Yeah.
I feel like you think that for everything that I gave into this relationship, I feel like you're treating it as a joke. You feel like I wasn't doing enough, and if I wasn't doing enough, you didn't have the guile to tell me that, you know, I want you to do this, this, and this. But if you're telling me in person, for me it'll be like, what? Ni sawa tu. For me, I'm that one. Ni sawa tu. Ni santa do.
Because when you talk in person, then you have clarity.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And sasa, people, sometimes we grow at different rates.
Yeah.
Because alafu unajua pia for women, sometimes you want to see the potential in someone and you're like, no, I see he's going to be a CEO, he's going to do this and that. But currently, he's not doing that.
Yeah.
Currently, he's not even doing the bare minimum. Because there are people who we see the potential of, but hawoni ata effort.
Yeah.
Do you think it's okay to leave a relationship because your goals and your development, your growth rate is very different?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Even if the love is there, the relationship is still good. But kwa sababu, una grow at a different pace. Yeah?
Una feel unikana kudrag nyuma. Mimi I will go. I will run away from you. Because if I'm like, nimepanga like, maybe in the next 2 years, mi nataka kwa nimejenga, we have a land, we have a family. Na wewe bado uko happy tuende dunda. Those are two different people. And I'll feel like you're dragging me behind. So, no, and no, and no. If I feel like we have different goals, definitely I'll run from you. Because you're here to drag me behind. I want someone we think together.
Yeah.
We have this plan. Yes, nitaongeza hii.
Yeah.
We grow. To grow kitu kyo.
Ni muhimu.
Ni muhimu.
Ni important.
Very important.
Na sasa on that note, if you're unhappy, Ian, if you just wake up and you feel like, for the past month, me, situation ijakuwa inanibamba, I do not feel like I'm at peace in this relationship. Do you think that's reason enough for you to walk away?
Yeah. Because I wouldn't want to dump my frustrations on my partner.
But don't you think unaweza jipatia time? Useme, maybe I'm unhappy because of work, maybe I'm unhappy because of life, the economy, the weather. Because sometimes, how do you know it's not a quick decision? How do you know it's the right decision rather? As opposed to, because yeah, you might be unhappy and you don't want to project that, but your partner might be supportive. Yeah. Anasema, babe, imagine kuja, I've got you. Even if you've lost your job, you've gone through this and that, I'm here. How do you know it's the right decision to leave because you're unhappy in a situation?
Well, that's a tricky one. Because a lot of factors will play into this. I feel like if I'm unhappy, then I won't want to project my frustrations on you. But then again, as I said earlier, I'd want you to see me in my bad days for you to know whether you're actually willing to bear with me. Because maybe you might see me on my good days, you know, like everything is working out, but you've never actually seen me like, wow, things are going downhill really fast for me, and maybe that will actually change your perspective on where you stand with me, and you might feel like, wow, I don't feel like it's working out. But the moment that you'll tell me like, you know, don't worry, everything's going to be fine, that doesn't actually have to mean that you'll do something for me. That assurance, your assurance, the assurance that you'll actually give me is actually the one that I'll know, wow, you got me, I got you.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's okay to just imagine take some time off. Imagine go through whatever you're going through. Because in relationships, you're both human beings. You're both experiencing other things aside from your relationship. So it's a very fine line. You can't really decide, like, am I unhappy because of the relationship? Am I unhappy because of external factors? How is it affecting that? So as you've said, it's really tricky, but the assurance that someone gives you, the support, just being there, it really adds value. But now let's talk about sasa tumemaliza relationship. And I've mentioned standing on business, but closure has some of us in shackles. We are bound. Unasema, no, you know, I left my favorite top there. Winnie, how do we stand on business?
Wow. It's hard.
Yeah. So,
You imagine you create bond na mtu for 3 years. Mi hata saa zingine wana understand wasichana, sijui nimeacha earrings. I understand you. I feel you. Cause
get you.
maybe let's say this person was like, mi sijui mwana wasichana wanapenda toxic men. Cause clearly I also love toxic men. I don't know. The next guy
It should be a case study.
Hey, you
It
know.
should be a case study. By the way, because you know that's a serious conversation.
Yeah.
Why do women love bad boys?
Yeah,
For real.
Yeah. The less men wana simple kuinje. The toxic man, sijui I will not provide, but you'll still go to that man who is not providing.
Yeah. You're like, oh my God, Ian. Staki hata simu. But I feel like tunafaa tuseme. Ladies, imagine let's avoid toxic people. I know there is an appeal. I know maybe the movies, the books have made the bad boy seem like he's the best.
Yeah.
But for your mental health, imagine just avoid. I feel like avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah, ntuambie yako, because you know, I've had an encounter. I had a situation where a friend of mine was telling me ali break up na mtu. Mtu akakuja kwa mlango yake. Ati I've brought back your belongings. Belongings unajua ni nini? Hairband, hairpin, and I don't know, maybe one sweater or something. Alafu carry a bag. Ati nimekuleta vitu zako ulikuwa umeacha. How do you stop yourself, even if you're invested and you're in love with someone, but you know the situation wasn't serving you anymore? How can you stop yourself from going back to the same person?
You just don't.
That's
It's
what you
simple.
say. No.
You can't say you just don't. Because if people could, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
I just don't. That's why you don't get like why Winnie will go back to someone. Like, for me, I won't.
Hey, Ian anakam hardcore.
Yeah.
We need Ian's exes to come on here and let us know what was going on. Because no, you've never had that one situation where you were so in love, your first love. Because for men, their first love is so significant.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to let go. How did you get over your first love?
I didn't date my first love.
Oh, yeah.
Because that actually spared me disappointments in the future.
Oh, okay.
Because you know, when you use the term first love, that is like that relationship will be like one way because you're the one giving the love so much.
Ian ni hardcore.
Kabisa.
Who see the perfect example?
But I think
Yeah.
solution moja ni ukubali the situation.
Yeah.
And for instance, huyu alikuwa ananipea love. Itabidi nianze sasa kujipenda. Nikubali
Ukweli.
hiyo love imeisha hivyo. Nianze kujikubali. I think nikishaanza kujikubali and love myself, I'll be able to cope up with that situation of going back there. Huyo msee alikuwa ananipea love. Wacha nianze kujipenda, nitakaa hapa by the way. I will not go for that love again because it was toxic.
Yeah.
I think you're
I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that because honestly, I feel like some of the solutions is you have to find what you're searching for within yourself.
Yeah.
Because so many of us are looking for maybe even security. We're looking for someone to listen to us, someone to love us, someone to give us attention.
Yeah.
But when you look back, are you giving yourself those things? Yeah. Sometimes the way we're talking about expectations, you expect someone to provide you with finances, you expect them to provide you with assets, but are you providing yourself with the same exact things? Because that's very important, especially in the healing journey. Once you accept that this situation is done, it wasn't good for me, but it's okay, we can move on and life will continue. Because imagine huwezi kufa. Huwezi kufa. Because, you know, it feels like you'll die.
Yeah.
But you can't die, you know. Especially, I've had stories who people, unfortunately, they've taken their lives because of love that didn't work out. And you realize that that was probably not even the greatest love that you ever had. Kuna mwingine huko angekupenda even zaidi ya hiyo. And you've just missed out on that. So I think that's a good place to end this conversation at because time is also not on our side. So I can end by maybe asking you to share your socials and a parting shot of this conversation. Let me start with Winnie, because ladies first. Ian.
Chivalry.
Men before that.
Yeah.
Akumbuke is supposed to provide anyway.
I'm providing the platform. My time.
God. Not you taking credit. Timo. Mumesikia venye hapa Ian anatuchochea ni producer. Yeah.
On all my social media platforms, Sparkles of Wamboi, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Yeah.
I like that. Sparkles of Wamboi.
Yeah.
Like you're definitely glowing. I can see the sparkles and glowing is coming in, you know? So please follow her. Ian, what about you? How can we find you after this?
Always on Instagram at Ian Scott.
Okay.
On all social media platforms.
At Ian Squad.
Yeah.
But Ian, mimi hapana. I feel like both of my guests leo tunafaa tukwe na meeting attend. Cause
Exactly.
I need to find out. Could you refer us to maybe your ex? Mmoja hivi.
My ex.
Tumuongeleshe.
On her Instagram at she's never existed.
Okay.
Kwa hayo machache. Thank you so much for sticking with us. This has been a very wonderful show. I hope you've enjoyed this. A repeat of this show will happen tomorrow between 1 and 2 p.m. And I'd just like to thank the entire team of everyone who has made this happen. Thanks to you as well for taking your time to sticking to watching Y254. A new program is going to come in. Right after, we have some inspiration, we have some entertainment, we have some more discussions coming your way on Y254 TV. But that is it for the Power Talk Show. My name is Cheryl Blessing, and I hope you have a lovely evening.